penultimate week of my 15th year. Now yellow stickers by my name on the wall chart and pre-prep, a grand total of 1 misconduct mark in prep school, and a handful of detentions here at college. Needless to say, I've read the situation entirely wrong. Mr. Bird actually asked if I would speak today about my time at Brighton College. I think he incorrectly gauged by my reaction that I wasn't too keen on the idea. Omar, it's supposed to be an honour, you know. If I did seem nervous, in reality it was because my mind was buzzing with the impossible task at hand. To do justice to a closely knit year group of such kind, diverse and well-rounded people, and to an institution which has been the backbone of my childhood and adolescence. That meeting took place on the day of my A-level maths exam. This year I've had maths lessons in the newly refurbished Blackshaw building. Beginning of upper sixth, however, it wasn't the first time I'd had maths lessons in Blackshaw 12. Under a different guise of kingfishers, this is also my year 3 classroom. Today, I learned about trigonometry, back then it was triangles. Today it's integrating curves, yesteryear it was interpreting graphs. It's all the same stuff really. It goes back further than that though. Yassine Bahami, Sophie Benton, Tom Bilton, Henry Carr, Spencer Douglas, Harry Grocott, Ben Halford, Charlie Hayton, Frank Jarman, Alex Colliari-Turner, Jack Leach, Izzy Noakes, George Shaw, Tom Strange, and Henry Tideman have also been here for the long haul. These people I befriended in nursery back in 1997. Obviously, we're all very different to our 3-year-old selves, but because I've grown up with these people, in my mind, their characters have changed very little. Tom Strange is still to a certain extent the big bruiser in the playground I was scared of in nursery, who I very quickly realised was no bully at all. He was absolutely a kind-hearted, big friendly giant. His warm and loud sense of humour is the same as it was back then. The powerful ambitions of Yas Bahami have led to him being very successful, from strictly to UCL economics. But in the past, his competitive streak occasionally got the better of him. One example of many is the break time in year 2 when Yas did succeed in winning a race against Frank Jarman, despite assigning himself a handicap of about 10 paces. The stage for this show of athletic dynamism is the playground where our boys now play football. This was quite an achievement, bringing Yas significant playground grab. Yaz's successful technique was to run low with his head down so as to make himself more aerodynamic. Unfortunately, this was at the expense of running headlong into a metal fence and finishing. His prize was 7 stitches. I believe that friendships start because of nothing more than common circumstance and shared interest. But friendships become enduring because of a certain trust built up over time through fun and sometimes not so fun experiences. We might be about to lose our common circumstance, Brighton College, but that doesn't mean we're going to drift apart. Everybody here has fun stories, fond memories, and good reasons to stay in touch with each other. Some might expect a private school to breed elitism and clique mentality. In truth, Brighton College is as far from that stereotype as one can get. Our year group, and by extension the whole school, is a community we care about very much without even trying, let alone being contrived. To a certain extent, there is a Brighton College bubble, insulation from the world outside. But we are all individuals who are far from naive and certainly have the ability to let right prevail in the changing world outside these walls. Like Mr. Cairns said on speech day, we are a part of society, not apart from it. As we prepare to graduate from school education to whatever form of education comes next, be it in the lecture room or the big wide world, I'll leave you with the advice my teacher gave to me as I prepared to graduate from being an LT Year 3 to the bottom of the heap Year 4 in the big scary prep school across the road. She said, "You've been lucky to have privileges that most people in the world couldn't imagine. That's nothing to feel guilty about, as long as you use the opportunities you have to improve things for people who didn't get dealt a hand of cards as good as yours." Now personally, I think that to get an education as good as this, with teachers who care this much, and friends who've got your back like we do for each other, is a real privilege. And by the way, my mum wants me to mention if I don't get chased out in August, she wants a full refund.